If you run a hospital, a medical centre or a doctor's surgery, what you'll be familiar with is listening to patients. Usually, you listen to patients and you listen to their ailments and you make your diagnosis. But more often than not now, in this era of competition in healthcare, it's important for you as a medical practitioner to listen to the feedback of your customers. Now, what we're told by many hospitals, medical centres or doctor's surgeries is that it's often very difficult for them to get feedback from their clients. And we know that primarily they use paper-based surveys. And what this involves in practice is giving a paper questionnaire, a pen and a clipboard to patients as they're being discharged. So in those few hours that you've got to wait before you're finally discharged, patients are filling in the forms, or if it's a private hospital or a private clinic, you fill the form in at reception on your way out. It's the last thing on most patients' minds. They want to get home. What we also hear is that what happens to those surveys and those questionnaires is it generally takes a couple of weeks for the survey to work its way through the process. That means it's been collected by the receptionist or the nurse, it's gone through, it's been input by somebody when there's a pile of them to be done, and finally the report makes its way to management. What if it didn't have to be like that? What if, as your patient is being discharged, what if you could give them a smartphone or an iPad with a survey pre-populated onto that device? All they had to do was tap the iPad or the phone and select their choices, and they could give you their opinion there and then. And so that you knew what that customer, that patient felt about the services you'd provided even before they'd left the hospital, certainly by the time they got home. And how impressive would it be for your practice to have actually contacted the patient before they get home and thank them for their feedback? Now thinking about doctor's surgeries, it's slightly different from a hospital or a medical centre. It's reversed in the sense that you've got patients who are waiting around in advance of seeing a doctor. What we're told by many small practices is that it's practically impossible for them to have the resources to collect continuous customer feedback. And yet, those customers, those patients, are the lifeblood of any business. They will be able to tell you what services they want, what services they use, when they want them, how they want them delivered. If this is something that strikes an accord with you and you want regular, continuous customer feedback, then SurveyMe will enable you to do this. SurveyMe can be preloaded onto an iPad and left on a stand in your waiting room. That means customers can automatically give you feedback, either on their own phones or on the iPad mounted on a stand. So what that means in practice for you is that your staff don't have to spend any time collecting feedback. It means that at the end of a busy day or a busy week, you can review how your customers perceived your services and possibly any ideas that they had. If that sounds something that you think would improve your hospital, your medical centre, or the performance of your doctor's surgery, then please visit our website.